I got to lean in.
What is going on, everybody? It is me again, and it is time to lean in, bitch. Welcome to the Lean on Wednesday, the new Wednesday Night Live, and we're here to talk about.
Sorry, we're done. I was posting on Instagram that we're live. Sorry.
Insubordination.
Damn, Jamie. I mean, damn. Can I at least get to the intro?
All I do is love, love, love.
You know what? What the teacher you say? I'll wait.
I mean, we waited for Sammy. We can wait another 18 minutes.
We did wait for Sammy, but you
know. She got a new backdrop and thinks it's cute, so it's fine.
She's giving us the city view.
Now why is Sammy in it?
See how now how's Sammy get in it?
I had to change my shirt at the last minute. I wasted some jelly on it.
Jelly.
I switched shirts, so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, nonetheless, like I said, Housewives in New Jersey, season 13, episode 8. I forgot what the episode was called, but we're gonna get into it tonight. Myself, Danny, Sammy, and Jamie. And so, shout out to those who are watching live right now. If you're watching live, let us know in the chat if you are watching and where you're watching from. Hey, Carrie, who's sending love? Danny's in the chat. And as I always say, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are halfway through this season. And I think Jamie said it in our chat. He said the New Jersey is like a limited series. I love them because I mean they get in, they get out. You know, their seasons are like up and down. But for the most part, you can never say they too long because baby, once they start to drag, it's over. That's just so let's get into it. So episode 8, they are still at the Jersey Shore. Last week, Danielle got, I don't know if she got scared or got cold feet, but baby, she stormed at that party so fast. And, we have been talking highly of Danielle. And in the mid-season trailer, if you guys saw, it looks like for the rest of the season, starting with last week's episode, she's going to be beefing with Rhonj. And I'm actually excited to see that because that's new blood and some, she's not an OG, but Rhonj at this point has definitely made her mark on Danny's not here for it. She's definitely made her mark on the New Jersey franchise, whether you like her or not. I'm just saying. Danny, you don't agree with that?
I mean, Marge is okay. My face is more for Danielle right now. We'll get into it later. Okay. I like her. But...
Interesting.
Hold on, child. Let me scoot this camera around, child. I'm moving, honey. This box is over there. Hold on. But anyway.
But when I moved, I just want to let everybody know when I moved, I was set up and ready to go in a day.
But you
don't care.
When you move,
the people want to know
here. Okay, let's be
clear.
You took off.
No, I didn't. I was here Thursday.
You didn't have any furniture. Your furniture hadn't come.
Ooh, this narrative. Rewind it. I'm gonna link. I'm gonna link the episode.
All right. So, picking up in this episode, it is the next day of the Jersey Shore. And the Jersey Shore trip, and there's two different conversations going on. There's a conversation between Danielle, Jen, and Teresa, and Dolores, Melissa, Rachel, all those girls in that side of the other house or whatever. And so Danielle, Jen, and Teresa, Danielle is talking about being upset about the ladies talking about her. Obviously, she stormed out. And she feels weird about Rachel. She feels like Rachel threw her under the bus. And Teresa is speaking on the whole ordeal about Melissa's mom being invited. And at this moment, she just feels strongly that if Melissa and Joe had an issue with that, they should have come to her versus going to everyone else. That's what Teresa says. And so on the other conversation between Dolores, Melissa, Rachel, all those other girls, Melissa's mocking Danielle, literally in her voice, in her Staten Island voice about what she said, but she basically admits to all the other girls that she did go over and talk to her at the party the night before and let her know that they were talking about her and doubting her her relationship with her brother and how they fell out. Melissa feels like she feels upset because she feels like she's making it like her mother doesn't deserve to be in her wedding. As if there's no other reasons as to why she shouldn't. Look at Danny. And honestly, everybody in that house is very vocal. Even Dolores. Dolores has some things to say, and I was surprised because Dolores, I always felt like she kind of tried to remain neutral, but I don't know. She's kind of like in this season, she's kind of not really on sides with Teresa, and I wonder how that's going to go at the end, but we'll see. But two things that we kind of find out from both these conversations is apparently the real reason that got Joe and Louie and all of them in an uproar is the fact that there was a bad business deal. There was this pizza thing. Did y'all know anything about this? I did.
I didn't hear anything about it.
Y'all too? Cool. Basically, it got ugly because per Teresa, Joe had the idea, but Joe only put in 5%, and Louie put in majority of the money, and so he felt that he should, be, I guess, have more ownership of it. But Joe feels like they stole the damn idea, took new pictures, and called it some other pizza joint. It's supposed to be called No Nos, but I guess it was called Yes Yes. Whatever he said, I don't know what he said. And so, what are y'all thoughts on this whole ordeal? Speaking on, I guess the root of Joe and Louie's relationship, and just kind of how Danielle feels, Melissa feels. Just y'all thoughts. I'll start with the last to appear, Sammy.
I want to know how many in memoriam pizza joints is Joe Gorga going to try to do? Like, let your father rest in peace. He don't want to rest in pizza. I don't understand how they are upset with you put in 5% worth of the funds. What did you expect? I would say as a good businessman, but we know that Joe Gorga is not. So maybe he really did feel that he was supposed to get 50%. I don't get how that was supposed to work. I am confused on, did Teresa go ahead with the girls and say we're going to just do skinny pizza? Was this before they decided to ask Joe out, or was this after the phone call when Joe threw a temper tantrum like a little girl and decided he didn't no longer want any parts? If it was before, I can see why he would be frustrated, because that could have been a conversation and maybe something else could have happened from that. But I think Teresa was right to tell Louie in the beginning, like, we don't want to do business with Joey. Like, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
When it comes to Danielle and how she feels about all the gossiping and everything that's going on with them, I don't know. I guess we have to wait till we get further down into the episode, but her being frustrated, I can get. I was, that whole little conversation A, conversation B, it was a lot of just confusion to me from both ends. I feel like it's not as chaotic as they're making it seem.
Either one of y'all.
When it comes to the Joe and Louie thing, I don't know much about Louie. Do I think Louie is a shady person? Absolutely. I don't trust him anymore. But I don't know much about his business dealings. What I do know is that almost every business dealing Joe Gorga has been in has flopped and failed or has some kind of shadiness around it. So I'm going to go with Teresa and Louie just based off of Joe's history.
Mm-mm.
I agree. I'm with Sammy. I want to know what Joe's obsession with pizza parlors is, because let's not pretend they're an homage to his dad, because the last one he had his dad working like a slave in the kitchen, sweating in the pizza dough. So let's not pretend like you were doing that to kind of memorialize your daddy. Also, any businessman, and this is up to Joe, because Joe is the one that brought this idea to Louie. Before you take the check, you need to have it written out, what percentage of ownership, how stuff is going to be, what's it going to be. And if at the end of it, you don't like the terms, you then have to recoup that money to your investor. Like, that's just the upstanding thing to do. Now, from the whole conversation of it, it doesn't sound like a near single piece of paper or contract was signed.
No.
So that's kind of bad on both of them. And Teresa was right. You don't do business with family, particularly a family who has been in the headlines for not having the best business sense, Teresa included. So
I was gonna say Teresa and I wouldn't be doing with
listen, if Joe Gorga came to me, because he built a record studio in his house that's not getting used. He sells fake Chanel's out of a store that he put money up for that ain't getting bought. He has No Nose Pizza. He's got an old pizzeria that lasted a week. Like, his house, like, he built his own house and the windows are crooked. Like, this man is not an astute business person. So Louie, I'm sorry, but you're just gonna have to chalk it up to the game, and Joe owes you $25,000. Like, you're never getting that money back. As far as Danielle, I get why she's frustrated, but, like, do you know how Housewives work? Like, you don't get to come onto the show and say, well, now I'm mad because y'all are asking me questions about a part of my life that I willingly shared about you. Like, that's just kind of the game. Teresa goddamn went to jail and got taken off in handcuffs. Like, do you think that she maybe not wanted to do that on camera? Like, girl, it's your brother that doesn't talk to you. It's going to be fine. So she willingly talks shit about other people, so I don't see why she's upset at other people asking questions.
Okay.
And fuck Melissa.
On this specific, I don't have any thoughts, really honest. I didn't know about this whole business deal, but I mean, I also don't think that that's the root of their issues, to be honest. It doesn't. Just like they questioned Danielle, I questioned that damn story too. The whole thing sounds crazy. Okay, from the name knows to yes and girls or whatever. I just don't know.
I don't think it's the root of the issue, but I can definitely see Joe Gorga being upset that he's not getting half of that man's money. Like he wanted Louie to put up all of it, and him to still come in and have the reins on everything. And I can definitely see him being upset about that.
Okay. All right, so this will come back up again. I mean, well, not this particular thing, but there's more between Melissa, Joe, Teresa, and Louie. I will say, I don't know if it was said earlier, but this episode will not be easy for Louie in terms of, because Louie is a rash. I ain't gonna lie to you, that man. It's so crazy how my thoughts have changed on him within like a few episodes, but Jesus Christ. I'm gonna start saving my thoughts at the end of the season, because clearly
we got to be careful at the end, because
they just show their ass. Anyway,
we is allowed to change our minds.
We are. You're right. But I don't want nobody saying, "Well, you said," because I'm that person to be like, "You said."
And my response would be,
got a notepad ready for us right now.
And my response would be, and now I'm saying this.
Good. Thank you, Danny. Let's put it on the shirt.
But that wasn't your response when I was talking about that lady from Salt Lake.
You're different.
You're different.
I didn't say that. The bottom square.
That's it. The bottom.
Okay. So Jackie is and there's a conversation she's having. Jackie, in this moment, Jackie didn't know what she was gonna be. She didn't know if she was gonna be a housewife, a friend, if she was gonna be, making food, eating food. She didn't know, right? So he's talking to Dolores, and she's talking about Jen, and basically talking about how she reached out to Jen, but Jen hadn't responded. Says that she's kind of fragile right now. And Dolores is like, fragile? Like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, she feels like things are tough for her, and she's trying to be tough, but she's not happy in her marriage right now, and that her and Bill are fighting about how they're raising the kids. Which, I mean, that does, I mean, for her to say that verbatim, obviously Ben did tell her that. I don't know if that's Jackie's place to be telling Dolores, but Jackie needs something to do, right? I mean,
it was on a deleted scene on the episode before that aired, the Never Before scene. They aired the whole conversation, which one, I don't know why Jen would walk up to Jackie of all people and spill the. She was probably drunk. It was at the party.
Well, remember she went up to her. Remember last week she went up to her.
She was spilling everything.
Are you drunk? Are you drunk? She was like, no, I'm not drunk. She was drunk as hell.
She was drunk. She was drunk. No, she spilled it all.
Slow motion. She was so drunk. And
Jackie was right. No,
Jackie knew.
Right. Jackie was right. No, she goes, I'm so sorry for you. That's horrible. Could you repeat that last part?
Hey, one more time.
It was very. Say it again.
Very.
Say it again.
Right. Hold on. Right.
And it's funny, we seeing Jackie more now than when she was actually a housewife.
I feel like she's working more.
For less money.
Hey, Jazz said it's snapback. I ain't got my snapback on. I'm gonna put one on in a second. I'm messing up the groove, huh? Damn. I changed it for you, Jazz. But basically, she's talking to Dolores, and Dolores feels bad. Dolores says it doesn't matter what we go through. I've always liked her and Bill together, so she's sad to hear this is happening. Joe arrives, and when Joe arrives, John Fuda, who is Rachel Fuda's husband, and I'm so tired of him in this chest and this thing that he's.
Oh my god.
It's so lame. Like, is that what is that like such a thing? And I don't know. Somebody tell me. But basically, John shows Joe a video from Louie last night where he was like talking about God and forgiveness. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of reminded me of that video from last year. Mm-hmm. I think that Louie needs to stay away from videos, okay? Because he is weird. Okay, he's weird as hell.
He was so serious in that video. What took me out was not him, but it was the other three husbands standing around trying to give sex siren, sex kitten, giving face.
It was the thing.
I was like, baby, this is not adding up.
It was weird. Okay, it looked like from I ain't gonna say Cocoa Dorm because I mean white chocolate.
Whoa.
Well,
I forgot about them.
Macadamia
I'm
dorm.
sorry, not Snow. What's the chocolate cream when they used to be in the house? You know, maybe I'm too old. Wait, I know I ain't too old because we got Jamie up here. Danny
Well, hold on now.
Okay.
Coco
But
don't used to be here in Miami.
so they showed a video, and Joe like, oh, really? He's talking about forgiveness and God and blah blah blah. He needs to worry about forgiveness between me and my sister. So they make their own little video mocking them about the chest. Did y'all have any thoughts on this little ordeal that happened here specifically?
it was corny.
Nothing.
They both
Okay.
are grown men.
Yeah.
You are 43. When are you going to stop this?
All right. So Melissa is talking to Jen Fessler and Dolores about how upset she is about her mom not being invited. And Marge makes a comment and says, everybody just needs to own their shit. And Jen Fessler's like, girl, is that? Yeah, she's like, no, I own my shit. I don't come for Jen and I blah, 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 and all these things like that. And so Rachel, is bringing up Danielle being upset. And how basically upset about the girls talking behind her back. And Marge feels like the same thing that she did to her before first, I guess, by saying that she had an arsenal and things like that. And so at this rate, they're getting Marge all riled up. Any thoughts on this little scene?
I like Jen Fessler.
I do like Jen Fessler. I do.
I like that she'll tell Marge, bitch, get it together.
She seems to be, I mean, as of right now, she does have some moments I'd be like, girl, but for the most part, it's a balance. She kind of, and then she's like, but we'll see. So Paulie needs a scooter. Paulie has high blood pressure today. Yesterday he had diabetes. The day before
open heart surgery.
He had the gout, open heart. I don't know. It's so many things. Paulie needs a scooter. Okay, because it's so many things going on. I don't know. I do believe Dolores is taking this man on through. She is Black Dolores, so that cat may be good, baby. He'll probably like, what's all this going? Daddy's face. But a bigger conversation happens when Danielle pulls Marge to the side, and I was like, okay, Danielle, like you want to get down to the bottom of it? Let's see what happens. So Danielle basically tells Marge that, I don't know what Rachel told you, but this is not how the conversation went. Like this, it didn't go in the way that she said, and I feel like she's throwing me under the bus. It wasn't me being messy. And so Marge is saying, well, this is what she said. So Danielle pulls Rachel over, and I'm surprised that Rachel wasn't already there, because Rachel conveniently has been a part of every conversation, like right when it's time for her to be or not be. But she was. Then literally everyone. Danielle pulled her over, and she come over there looking like the mayor of Whoville. Like, what's going on?
Mayor of who?
The mayor of Whoville. Mayor, queen, whatever. And so Rachel explains how it went. And Danielle, they talk about this arsenal. And Marge is not like the word arsenal. They mentioned the word conversating. That obviously conversating is not a word. Conversing, for those that don't know. Rachel now feels like she's being thrown under the bus, and so Danielle decides just to kind of dismiss it because Marge says she wants to get another cup of water or glass of water, whatever. And Rachel's like, are we good? Are we good? And you can tell Danielle is really not happy with her. But Rachel feels like she hasn't done anything wrong. And so I was going to ask you guys, as you guys give your commentary, do you feel like she threw her under the bus? Like, because how do you feel that Rachel reported it back to Marge? Do y'all feel like it was, no? Go ahead, Dan.
She definitely threw her under the bus because I could see if she's this honest person who was going back and telling everybody else what Marge and them were saying, but she's not. She's only reporting one side because, like you said, Cortez, Mama has been in every conversation. She's heard everything from everybody, and she's not reporting everything. She's only reporting this one incident. She's reporting stuff back to Marge and that crew, not the other way around. So she's definitely that was picked aside and she threw her under the bus.
I said it last week. It was no purpose of her even having that conversation with Marge. The only purpose was to have Marge looking at Danielle sideways. Like, what was the reason? And she didn't report it back. And she just basically what Danielle said is, you brought it back as if I was bad mouthing Marge, and that's exactly how she took it to her. That's exactly how she did.
I mean, wasn't she? I don't think she threw her under the bus. In order to throw her under the bus, she would have had to been in the hot seat to begin with. Marge wasn't coming at her anyway. She didn't use it to save herself. She was simply saying, This was a conversation that was had. Was it messy? Yeah. I don't think she threw her under the bus though. But the thing that I like about Rachel, she's in every conversation. She's messy as hell, but she has not retreated. She has not backed down. She has stood in her shit. She's admitted her shit, and she finishes the conversation. Danielle, I think what I'm getting from Danielle is she's used to being that girl that gets louder than everybody, and people will back off because they think that she's going to do something. But the minute Rachel confronted her and was like, well, what did I say? Nothing. Now, where are we at? Danielle stopped and it was crickets. She was gagged a little bit. So Danielle is really much very talking a lot loudly off on the side in confessionals. And when someone confronts her with something, I'm just going to leave. I got to get out of here. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. My blood is boiling. Like, okay, girl, finish the conversation if you're really about it. So that's for me, that's where Rachel has to step above because she's standing in her shit. She owns it. Never once has she said something and hit her hand. Yeah, I said it. Where we at?
So I agree with you on that. I don't think Rachel has not really been. So she is nothing is happening to Rachel. So she hasn't been put in a situation to where she's uncomfortable. The only time she did, let's be clear, Jen sent her ass on out that damn thing and told her, don't let the door hit you.
She didn't stand on that.
Well, she didn't stand on that. Rachel, I'm just saying.
Well, how can she stand on it? She got kicked out of a party.
She didn't get kicked out. She left.
She left.
She left. So, I mean, I'm just saying, they're both.
There's not a door, idiot. We're outside.
But Rachel's time is coming. I do think somebody's going to let her have it again. And we've already seen how she reacts to. I do agree with you with the Danielle. That is a good thing you mentioned that she is used to being the loudest one in the room. But I think that we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
I also think with Rachel, every time she's stood in her stuff, she's had someone like Marge around who she knows would take over the minute that other people start getting loud with her. So it's not really that she's feels confident. She knows she has backup. That's really the only thing. I think she's very much a chicken shit if she's by herself because her tune changed as soon as Marge walked away. Oh, we could. Oh wait, are we not? Her tune changed. She's definitely a little bit.
Her tune changed even last week when Teresa went and checked her. She was replying back and standing on what she said, but she was also digging in that purse. She didn't want no eye contact. She was shook. She was very smart about it though. It just depends on what her intent was. Like, what was the intention of telling that to Marge that Danielle said it?
That's what newbies do.
Well, here's the thing. The only thing that I don't like about this is that, okay, you both were given this warning about this woman, right? So, but one thing I hate about Rachel is that she likes to use, well, I didn't say anything. I was just listening. This person said, you know what I'm saying, and tell them what this person said. But realistically, if someone says they've been talking about you or to somebody or whatever, you're going to say, well, what did you say to defend me? She's not really saying anything. She's just listening. And I think
Mark don't care.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. They only care about because Rachel Honest is getting ahead of it. She's removing herself and says she was just a bystander. But if this was my community, they're going to say, well, what'd you say to defend me? Because if you just sat there and listen, you're just as guilty. I'm sorry.
I guess, and for me, it's also, what was the point of that? Like, you already said last week that Teresa was going around saying that to you. If Teresa said it to you, everybody knows she said it to Danielle too. So what was the point of repeating that anyway?
Yeah.
I think you mentioned it, Danny, a week or two ago. Rachel was in the blogs before she even got on the show as a fan. She had a fan page. So and this is the thing with when Housewives comes on to the show, you can tell the casual watchers and the fans because they move differently. Jen Fessler is a casual watcher. She'll come in and she'll start some shit. She'll engage a little bit, but ultimately she's like, okay, girl, I'm just here for the commentary. I'm moving along. It's whatever. Rachel knows what the game is at this point. She knows how to insert herself. She's stirring it up, which is also so does Danielle. So I'm a little bit shocked that Danielle is, unless this is an act, and because she's really blowing this out of proportion. Like, she's so hurt that anybody would ask why she don't talk to her brother.
But I also think she don't want to delve deeper into it, which is why she's walking away from it. She don't want to touch on that.
Which only lends to girl, you are not telling the story. Because if you blocked your brother because he was bullying you on Instagram, you wouldn't get that upset. You'd be like, he's a fucking asshole, and that's the end of the conversation.
But you also have to remember, like I said in the group in that other episode when she said, I would never tell you girls a damn thing. We've heard her speak about other things outside of that Instagram thing. She probably just doesn't feel comfortable talking to Marge and Jackie because they don't really give a damn. They just want a gossip piece. So no, bitches,
Yeah.
I blocked him. He got mad, and that's all you need to know. And that should be good enough.
But that's not how she's responding. If your mindset is, I don't
It's
owe you
coming.
bitches shit. Yeah, I don't owe you anything, so I'm not even going to do it. If you've already had that in your mind where I'm not telling y'all anything, why are you upset that they're asking
It's
questions?
coming.
It should be, I'm good. I'm fine. That's good. But she's getting upset. My blood's boiling. I'm out of
Well,
here.
yeah,
Like,
because now it's not
trying-
about, you're not asking me questions. Now you're in a circle saying, well, she's lying. There got to be more to it.
Yeah.
Like, let's figure out what's really going on. I told you what's going on. That should be good enough. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Sammy, that and the fact that they're coming at, Marge is coming at her for talking about her behind her back, allegedly, when she just did that 5 seconds before they ran up to her, and the whole night before, like the whole episode before, they were talking about her without her being present too. So it's like, again, Marge is one of those bitches that can't take what she dishes out.
play the game, baby. Play
Yeah,
the game or get out.
A question from Art World, and it said, well, it was a comment. It says, I think Marge goes in on Danielle because Jackie doesn't see it for her. Rachel was liked by Marge and Jackie, so they let her slide.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Jersey is really one of those franchises where it's either Team Teresa or Team Marge. When it comes to like the big feuds, nobody's Team Melissa. They've had one of the bigger feuds. So really, as the newbies come on, which is why Marge didn't care. What did you say to defend me? Marge is like, cool. You are very telling me what people are saying.
Yeah,
so at least I have you over here. I'm
that's
good
Housewives,
here.
so I get their thinking is different. If you
Teresa used to do that too before she got tired of it.
Yeah,
Teresa did that when Jen came on the scene.
No, but don't tell me what was. Tell us what's now.
Right.
Teresa's tired, but she only signed on for a check. She barely wants to work.
Okay, well, let's continue this conversation because this is the next scene where Danielle kind of confronts the girl. So, obviously, two things going on. Teresa's upset because obviously she keeps hearing all these things that Joe and Melissa have been talking about, minus her. And Louie pulls Melissa to the side, but we'll come back to that. But we'll get to that because they're just kind of talking, and he over there kissing her ass, rubbing her toes, warming her all up. I'm like, okay, Louie, this is whatever. But basically, apologizing to her for her mom not being invited, kissing her ass in so many ways. But on the side, there's a conversation with all the girls, and Teresa, she talks about this, but Danielle kind of interjects, and basically she is upset. She goes off about everybody talking about her brother, and says that it should be good enough. Jen Fessler says that she just doesn't understand, and if that's what actually happened, then that's cuckoo. Dolores says, well, maybe it's the sister-in-law. Has more to the story, but the most vocal person is Jackie. Jackie, she already has her issues with Danielle in the season, but Jackie says it don't make sense, and she just wonder what the rest of the story is, and so she should just say it. She was like, okay, like I think it's more to it, so you should just say it. And so I ain't gonna lie, if that was me, I would have probably got even more upset because it's like, okay, like y'all are at this rate, y'all telling me my story is bullshit. Like I get it, it is Housewives, but as in general, I'd be like, this is annoying. Like what the fuck? Yeah. But she says that she was like, listen, what I told you is what it is. If that's not good enough, whatever, blah. And she does storm off again, and she leaves, and they're trying to get her to stay. Rachel's like, get her to stay. Rachel's like, don't leave, girl. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus like that.
Didn't even walk after her.
Right, don't leave, as she's still standing here, but Danielle leaves. And we just kind of talked about this. Did y'all want to add anything to this conversation? Because we talked about this a little bit, but just kind of how she, I guess, told the girls off. I did like that she stood up for herself, although she did leave. But any thoughts on this scene?
She might not want to whip their ass on camera yet. She might be leaving so she don't lose control.
Could be. I will say
I'm temper on her. I don't know. I do think so. Go ahead.
It gives temper. I do want her to stop running away from it. It's giving I'm running away. It was one comment Jackie made when she was like, I know for me, more would have to happen. Y'all are not the same like Jackie. We have established throughout your time here, you are not a normal human being. So you can't, it's not going to be the same, like
what is she? What is she, Sammy?
She's not normal. Jackie, let me say, Jackie annoyed the hell out of me this episode. Like everything is just coming out of her mouth. You can tell she's just picking and pulling, trying to find camera time. Like,
yeah,
she was very annoying. It wasn't like the Jackie that when she first came on, she was real tough and she stood up for herself. I liked it. But this is just it's giving her and Rachel just pick me. They are annoying the hell out of me this whole episode.
They're making Danielle work.
They're
making Danielle
her
work.
Or they just overexerting themselves? Because Danielle, she's barely working, and she got whatever they heard holding down in Jersey. Danielle got it.
Two things can be true at the same time.
I don't know, Jackie. Everything just coming out of Jackie's mouth. Put something in your mouth. Go do something with
Danielle is playing smart. Danielle is playing it smart because I mean, for a newbie, she is a huge storyline at this moment. Right, you know what I'm saying? And you got the friends talking about her, the other wives talking about her. So she's, her walking out is Housewives. Housewives don't walk out. They ain't gonna always stand, defeating it. But for the most part, I think they're doing her a favor, actually. Yeah. And it's working for her.
I will say I enjoy friends like Jackie because you have two types of friends. The friends that kind of pop up and they're just like, hey, y'all, I'm here. They ain't got no lines. They don't really do anything. They're in the background. Or you have friends like Marlo, like Camille when she pops up, like Jackie. When they pop up, they're causing chaos. They're there for a particular reason. We're working. We're not just showing up. We're not in the background. We're not eating hors d'oeuvres. Like, we're not just here. Like, they're working. So I appreciate that. But the thing with Jackie is when she was on the show, she had people calling her boring day and night, telling her that she doesn't deserve a spot on the show, saying she doesn't work, saying she blah, 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 blah. Then when she clocks in and starts to work, people saying she's annoying, she's insufferable, she opens her mouth too much. Like, God damn, just say you don't like her.
We just don't like her, and she should just go.
Exactly.
I think the difference is consistency. Like when it comes to Marlo and Camille, there were some annoying ass friends, but when they were approached, they didn't buckle. Like Jackie, every time somebody come and throw something at her about her opening her mouth, she gets real timid, all red in the face. Like, girl, you are going to be that got girl. Brittle bones. Sit your ass back and shut up.
I was going to ask you, have y'all? I don't know. Have you noticed that she's gained a little weight?
No, Jackie, especially in the face. In the
face, she definitely gains. Oh, either that or she got a lot of fillers. I'm happy to that face.
Good. Yeah, no, she's insufferable this season. I agree with you, Sammy. She's insufferable. She is insufferable.
Someone in the comments says that when you make the comment about showing up, creating chaos, just like you when you pop up.
That's all right, Jasmine. Well, let me know next time you're on a panel, baby.
Oh, well, that looks like Teresa. You'll see her tomorrow, Jamie.
Damn it, I forgot. Bloop, bloop.
Okay.
Teresa's old hairline, my fucking god.
I'm looking like Teresa. I mentioned I watched this on Ultimate Girls Trip episode 4. It's crazy out there, child. And it's crazy because the people on the panel ain't never been on a panel ever together.
Okay, we did good last week.
Oh, it was great. It's always gonna be great, but it was great. It definitely. Jamie never been on the panel, and neither has Jasmine and Chad. So damn, she been running for them for all these years. Now she finally
she's been very Danielle to us. Very Danielle.
Jasmine has been very selective with her energy.
Very Danielle.
Oh,
she said tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, she said.
All right. So, in this next conversation, Teresa, she speaks more on the whole thing about how the conversation between Melissa and Joe and her mother, right? And so she feels like if they had called again, things would have been resolved. I don't think that's true, Teresa. If they had called, I don't think that would have changed anything. You just would be able to get ahead of it versus, hearing about it or whatever. But Rachel, Rachel says, well, it should have been done from the jump, Teresa. You should have been invited them. Her mama should have been in the will. I'm like, okay, Rachel, girl. And so Teresa's like, looking at her like, girl, like you need to calm down. Melissa goes over and she's, I'm sorry. So at this point, after she gets mad at Rachel, she goes over to find Teresa. And she's looking at Teresa. She's looking for Melissa. Like, why are you mad? Like, why are you talking to everybody? Mind you, Melissa's talking to Louie, but Louie doesn't like the fact that Teresa came over. And he also don't like the fact that any of it. Actually, he's kind of like basically telling her to go back over there in so many ways. And I just didn't really like that because I was just like, okay, I get it. You're trying to make peace. She's coming over here, but that's not something you do in public. I don't think you should give that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get where he was coming from. I do think that it probably would have been worse in private, but I don't think he should do that in the public. That's just my opinion. I get y'all thoughts. But basically, he shushes her away till her shoe fly. Go on back over there with your new hairline. Go on now. And then she goes back over. And give me y'all thoughts because Louie is clicking down.
Louis clicking
Like, by the
down.
time we get to the wedding, I'm gonna be looking at the wedding like this.
It wasn't even a slow click down. It's like he just dropped from the 10th floor to the bottom.
I do not like that.
It went down.
Like right message, wrong delivery. Because he could have said, "Babe, let me have this conversation with Melissa, and then we're good."
Yeah.
Teresa wouldn't have listened.
But it's given he sounded frustrated because he told her ass in the car, "Don't you get involved when I will talk to them."
Very bad. Very much. Don't go to this party and embarrass me.
We forget that she asked him to go do that, right? So I can understand why he was frustrated with her. I can understand why he would be frustrated with Teresa and how she carries. But I think it was the way that he delivered the message and in front of Melissa. And then for Melissa to even have the nerve to say he can't control his temper. Have you forgot who you were married to? Like, shut up and just let this
He's
be.
Justified though to her.
Yeah, right. But it was I didn't like it. And that's one thing about Joe Giudice. Like Teresa would get on his nerves, but when it came to them other people fucking with her, it was gonna be him and Teresa against them.
He just talked about her.
He played that bad hand. Even with the conversation, like, I wanted to invite her to our wedding. Like, if I tell you me and this woman have this bad history, and you still invite her to our wedding, you have just now got everybody disinvited from the wedding because the bitch is canceled. And Teresa's a much better person than me.
Oh, shit. Well, you heard that, Steven?
Okay.
No wedding.
Like, I didn't get it. It was real whack of Louie.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this thing on Louie and Jamie? You got anything? I know you like Louie.
I never said that. Oh my God. No.
Well, let me go back to the chat because on this day you did
do it. Monique in your binder.
People in the chat on Sunday they did say Jamie, you said so. If somebody they would tell us.
Never find it.
I made it up. I'm sorry. I repeated what I heard. My bad.
Why'd you throw me under the bus, Rachel? No, Louie, it's creepy. I don't like we all get upset, and I can get if maybe it was like in a fight or something, but all she did is walk over there and you immediately started screaming at her and berating her in front of not just her sister-in-law that she's beefing with, but then a whole ugly ass party in somebody's backyard. Like, ooh, I never want to beef in somebody's backyard with plastic tarps on the table. No, let's save this for when we go inside. Like, you're not disrespecting me like that.
Yeah, I would have said, first of all, Louie, this is my show. Okay. I got these cameras out here. So hey.
And I also believe that Melissa was it actually, yes.
Melissa was giggling, baby. She probably was like,
not even that she was giggling. I think she was glad that Louie told Teresa to get her ass because the way Teresa came and sat down next to Melissa, she knew, okay, I've been picking that. This is finna be it. But Louie saved her ass when he got Teresa up out of there. And I think
Louie definitely saved Melissa because
he may have saved her from her, but he didn't save her from Jackie. Because when he did shut her, that's when she went back over to the girl.
He don't care about Jackie though.
Well, I'm just saying that because Jackie's the one that got it. So as we mentioned, so Teresa goes back over there at the shoe fight don't bother me. And basically she goes over and says, like, listen, Joe needs therapy and Melissa too, because she got daddy issues. And Jackie's like, that's not nice. No, you can't say that. And Teresa's like, shut the fuck up, Jackie. Like, go away. Get your ass out of my face. You're getting on my dick. And I'm not gonna lie. That was, I think all of us may have been thinking that, unless you're a Jackie fan. Well, I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, I love a good shut the fuck up moment that's like so
absolutely.
Because it was like so appropriate, like, shut the fuck up. And of course, Jackie's rebuttal is, you can't say that. You can't say that. That's a little bit harsh for somebody that lost their dad at 16 and all these things or whatever. And Teresa's like, no, it's not. Like, no, it's not. She talks about, she goes in on Jackie a little more. It's like, listen, this is therapy. Because I'm going to hold this drink and drink this drink. This is therapy. In other words, I think Jackie was about to get it a lot worse. I think it was about to be a moment season, what was it, 11? 2 years ago?
I would have loved it.
He told her, girl, I'm sparing you right now. You lucky I'm in therapy. And I really believed it because she was very annoyed, especially knowing that Jackie was talking the entire time. Because when she went over to Louie and Melissa, she had said, Jackie's saying this and Jackie's saying that. So who knows what else Jackie has been saying. Jackie's obviously doing a lot of it. I think Teresa was tired of it. But what are y'all thoughts on this scene?
Teresa gave, maybe I have risen. I have risen. I think Louie is. how do I say this without sounding me? Not funny. Louis kind of weird to me. He's off. Something ain't right. You can tell that while he genuinely is frustrated with Teresa, I think he checks her the way he does in front of people so that he can appear reasonable to them. Like, look, even he has to deal with it, but he's trying to keep the peace. Louis cares about everybody's opinion of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to please everybody at one time. And I also think he's a narcissist. He can't be trusted. He got about 4 faces. I've seen them all this episode.
He just gets so red. He be looking like the little devil man off Cow and Chicken.
And later on, if Joe Gorga had hauled and punched him in that red face, it would have been worth. It would have been well deserved.
Well, you know, we're gonna speak on that. We get because I don't know if it would have went like
that. Joe would have hit him, but that was gonna probably be the only hit Joe got.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Like
I definitely think Louie when he said I ain't got nothing to lose, I was like, oh.
I mean, there were rumors he beat on his wife, so like I know he has no problem beating on Joe Gorga.
Yeah.
Jackie deserved every bit of Teresa's fury she got. I fucking loved it. As annoying as Teresa is, that girl has been really repressing her anger for 8 episodes at this point. I will say, I wish Jackie would have thrown an analogy at her that would have had Teresa gagged. Teresa would not know what to do with that.
No, because I don't think therapy would have worked. I don't think it would have worked.
Listen, and I think Jackie realized that because she was like, "Okay, girl, like this isn't just like on cameras. You pissed.
Right,
you mad, girl? We're not sparring anymore. You mad?" But I love when Teresa gets mad because her voice crack and goes all high pitched. Like she gets hoarse. I love it. I love it.
And she almost saw her old hairline. So I was like, "Whoa!"
Almost grows back.
It did. It started going back down. All right. So, so I wanted to ask y'all: do y'all think that saying somebody has daddy issues is that an insult or no?
So Melissa said it before, but the way Teresa threw it out there, she was definitely attacking the girl.
Jen said it's not an issue.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's an insult. I think you knew what you were doing. You were trying to dig at her. You were trying to dig
at her. It was a dig.
Everything,
it was a dig.
Anything is an insult depending on how you say it. Anything can be.
In the context of the combo, has she said, I feel like Melissa's acting out. She's mentioned she had daddy issues. Yeah, that's a fact. In the middle of a fight, maybe she's mad I didn't invite her mom because she got daddy issues. God damn.
So go to therapy. Yeah,
God damn, Teresa.
They probably gonna damn the therapist too.
And y'all didn't hear what she said. She has daddy issues because she lost her dad in a car accident at 16. Like they was out there throwing. It was a dig. Melissa was. Teresa was attacking Melissa for that.
Yeah. But if it was anybody else, I'd be mad at Teresa. I'm not mad. Good job, Teresa.
So the conversation is between Louie and let me see. Louie and Joe, and this is where he makes a comment about wearing Joe's and Teresa's father's pajamas to keep them warm at night. I don't know if he was saying he keep the kids warm, or he keeps pajamas warm, but basically wearing his deceased father's pajamas to keep anybody warm is just weird. That's just, I don't know if Joe ever had a reason to punch that man, it would have been a punch right there because that is like what?
I actually was mad he didn't.
But Joe was like,
it looked like he wanted to laugh at first. He made a face like, what?
Teresa came and saved Louie at that. Not saved Louie because I believe Louie can hold his own against Joe, but
George.
I was saying Joe and Gorg at the same time. But I believe he could hold his own against Joe. But when Teresa got there started talking, she pretty much changed the subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe was lost. I honestly think Joe
he was seeing red.
Is this what he's saying to me right now? I
don't know. I swear to God, I will punch him in the.
Yes. But Teresa goes over and basically they tell Joe to hold a pillow. And Joe is just like, why do you need a fucking pillow for? I'm not gonna hit her. And then he says, like, this is what they say do in therapy. So he grabs the pillow, blah, blah, throws pillows to the side. Joe was upset again about the wedding decisions or whatever, and talks about Teresa mentions that she's upset. She knows that they're upset about not being in the wedding or Melissa not being in the wedding, her family, but she's upset that they did not have her back against Marge last year, specifically Melissa. Melissa comes over and she says to Teresa, well, you didn't have my back. You didn't stick up for my man when she chimed in and said that he basically was a bitch boy. And, Teresa's like, whatever. So, she,
I wouldn't have.
She was.
But I wouldn't have, because that happened later on in this,
It did.
four
One
or five episodes in. What Teresa wanted Melissa to defend her on happened before that, and she didn't get no defense. So what I'm gonna defend you for?
I agree. That's what I thought in my head too.
Yep.
But let me just finish this part real quick. So, Melissa. So Teresa gets upset. They go back and forth. Melissa makes a comment and says, she's leaving. I prove her wrong every time, and she gets so mad. I would have socked Melissa in her mouth in that moment. I ain't gonna lie. Melissa was taking advantage of a moment where, like clearly Louie, she already saw how Louie was going to react to Teresa. So anything Teresa did, Louie was going to be like, don't do that. And Melissa had up. She knew what she was doing. I feel like we've never really seen Melissa really get too smart at the mouth with Teresa, to be honest. But she used this moment of Louie and Teresa not being at odds. But you know how Louie was to Teresa in this scene. So Teresa, whatever, and he says, my poor brother. And Melissa says, yeah, I'm the one tucking him in every night. Yeah.
You're supposed to. You're supposed to.
He's like,
no, you're not. The man is in his 50s. He could tuck his damn self in. That ain't the gotcha you think it was, because one, you're cheating. So like you tucking other people in too.
Allegedly.
But he says that he's happy. And Teresa says, I don't think so. No, Melissa knew directly in that moment that was a shot at her. She feels like he's not happy because of her. And Rachel to the side said, poor Melissa. Oh my God. And so Louie says, yeah, she called you a bitch boy and you're wearing it well. I'm like, damn, this is a lot going on. I was just like, oh my gosh. I ain't gonna lie, Joe had so many reasons to pop this man in the face. But he did not. But they kind of go back and forth, and he does make the comment, as they go out to the car, he needs his car, he needs to move the car. He comes back in and tells him, is he getting hyped that he ain't got nothing to lose, he'll punch him in the motherfucking face. And I'm just like, honestly, I do think Louie would probably whoop Joey's ass. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not because of his height, I just think that Louie is crazy, really crazy. He probably would lick him afterwards too, but that's how weird he is. So they kind of go back and forth. And the two end up in the car. Louie is talking to Melissa and Joe in the car, hanging over the car, and Teresa's talking to Marge about everything. And that's how the episode ends. Give me y'all thoughts.
It was a lot. I think my favorite thing about all that was when Teresa activated. Yeah, like for Louie to tell her, get away from me and Melissa while we're talking. So then she goes over there and she spares us off on Jackie. And then all of a sudden she back over there with Louie, like, fuck that. I'm finna see what the hell y'all talking about. She stopped caring. So then she's arguing with Melissa now. She has to get up to get away from Melissa because she's frustrated. Like Teresa was battling. She was battling herself because she wanted to really just lash out. Like, her and Louie both over there just trying to be the bigger people. But at the same time, like, fuck it, let's just get crazy. It was a lot. I enjoyed it all. What I didn't like was, it's like they know Teresa's short-tempered and I guess short-brained or whatever word we want to use for it. They take advantage of that. Like they, like you said, they knew if she popped off, Louie was gonna get her, and then it would make her look like the problem. And then you have what annoyed me the most about the whole scene was the ending when she was talking to Marge. Marge is sitting there and pleading with her like Melissa wants to make it right and y'all can do better. This is how you want your memories to be. But that's not the same mentality you had at the beginning of the episode when y'all was sitting over there talking and you were telling Melissa, well, Teresa's just making the divide worse. She's making it to where you can't get better. What you know Teresa gonna see this, Marge. You know she's gonna see. You think she tossed that shit at you at that table down in Nashville. I cannot wait until Teresa gets a hold of all this stuff, because at this point, Marge, you are no better than Melissa to me. Like, y'all know what y'all do. Y'all are poking at that girl, and then when she acts crazy, y'all are gonna make it seem like this is why the family just can't get right because Teresa's the problem. No, y'all are fucking with her. Y'all know she's not.
I want Marge walking around like this.
Yeah. She's with both arms with a brace. They know Teresa's not. She's not. Her intellect is not good enough to play the game back with them, and they're taking advantage of that. And then they got Louie over here with his psychotic ass. He got some smarts to him, but he's a little stupid too. After seeing this episode, like
lots.
I don't know.
So I agree with you, Sammy, that Marge is playing Teresa. However, I don't necessarily think she's doing it to support Melissa. Seeing the amount of gas up that she does on Melissa to get her going and to get her and Joe both to act a fool. I think Marge just genuinely loves to see both of these couples go at it. Marge, we said this, 2 seasons ago, she really stepped in her villain producer role. And she's done it very, very well and somehow still kind of managed to escape unscathed because she teeters that line of like getting the Gorgas riled the fuck up by saying shit, but leaving out just enough to where it's only just like, oh, well, I was just giving an opinion. She never fully goes on, you need to fuck her up, because she plants little digs and then she goes back to Teresa and says, you need to calm down because they're really trying, knowing full well she already gassed these people up. I just think she's a master puppeteer and she gets off on watching people delve into chaos. But the thing with Marge is she always gets it at the reunion and the bitch just comes back more determined to start shit. Like she does not learn her lesson. I gotta give her that. She got her fucking hair pulled and she came back and was like, okay.
Well, she's probably been like this her whole life and getting tore up her whole life. I mean, she's used to it.
She broke up, had a whole affair, then married the man. Like Marge, she don't
have no moral.
Nothing to her. She don't
stand in the way of love. Don't stand in the way of love.
Okay, Jamie.
But mercy.
I think what's also gotten them frustrated too is they've been trying to poke Teresa over and over, and she really hasn't been giving them anything. Like we're just about to be halfway through the season, and she's finally about to tear into their ass. But normally Teresa would have took off episode 1.
Yeah.
She hasn't been reacting how they normally, and even they're confused about it. Is this real? Do you think she's
It's the therapy in the love bubble.
That's one thing. I'm glad that Louie, through all his bullshit, I'm glad he told Melissa when Joe came back to trip and look, he's enjoying it now. You finna give him that. You finna go ahead and play with him. And I think that's probably when she probably start reeling back into her therapy. But
yeah, no, he needs to learn balance, okay? Because I think his intentions are definitely great, right? I definitely.
Oh, Louie.
I do think he genuinely wants, because I think he knows where she has come from. He probably watched the show too, but I think the way he goes about it ain't right. And I feel like it's like she's already on this journey of growth.
Yeah.
We know where she came from watching the show, and I think he actually makes it very hard for her because she is already fighting going off, and then the way he talking to her, and then you got people like Melissa poking at her. It's like it's making it worse for her. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. He need to find a balance or figure out, because right now he look like he's talking to a child, and that's Teresa Jackson. It ain't cute.
I wonder how Gia gonna feel after she see this scene.
Gia might be frustrated and be like, she might be all right with it, okay, secretly.
I mean, Gia talks to her mom like that too in the.
Gia, actually, no, I take that back. Gia might be upset that he didn't let Teresa tear into her Zio Joe and Melissa.
Yeah. I think as weird as Louie is, I don't think that he's stopping her from doing anything for anything altruistic reason or to make her look like the beggar person. Other than maybe perhaps let them act a fool. And I think it's more so just like, he knows that Teresa has been on the verge of like quitting this show for how long? She's been very vocal about hating doing this fucking show with Melissa and Joe. And I think he is wanting her to reel it in so they don't push her out. Because this is, I think he enjoys the limelight a little bit. He enjoys the residual income. He enjoys it. I think that he's probably wanting them to show their ass. Knowing that they will, knowing her brother. He can talk to Melissa all day long. Joe is still going to show his ass. And he looks like the voice of reason, like Cortez said. And Teresa, just bide your time. Don't fuck up my money train. I don't find anything super genuine about what he's doing, which is unfortunate.
It's very fake and planned. It's very fake.
And at the end of the day, then Marge is going to be right.
I do want to point out, I like how, did y'all hear when Joe said that he was calling Louie and Gia to get Melissa to, to get Teresa to try to stop tripping. That goes to show how Gia's inputted into this. Like they give Gia a bigger voice than we think she just popping off and talking shit just because. but they're calling that girl and placing her into the middle of it to try to help get some type of results.
You want her to stay in a child's place, but you're involving her in
adult
business.
Right. Yeah.
And
she's an adult too, but
I just want Louie to know how many days to his wedding, because in one moment it was 31 days and then 10 minutes later it was 28 days.
28.
I really hated when he was leaning in that car talking to Melissa.
Baby, he
should have popped him.
He would spend some game, Melissa. He was like, "Oh, let me tell you something, baby.
I want y'all in my life. I want this to be right." And you know what else was funny to me? Y'all remember when was it Watch What Happens Live when Jackie got mad when they said it was a Teresa show? And she was like, "This is an ensemble cast. This is the Teresa show, Jackie. You and the rest of the people at that patio couldn't even enjoy y'all steaks and shots when Teresa got over there clowning. Everybody was tuned in to Teresa. This is the Teresa show, Jackie."
I truly think the network would pick Teresa over Joe and Melissa.
Yeah, I would hope, for the love of God.
We're gonna find out next year, because she says she don't want to.
She's not dealing with them no more, so we'll see.
Good for her.
Season child.
Good for her. Can we talk about Dolores' new Afro-Latina makeover in her confession?
Oh my gosh, her confession! I didn't know who that was.
She said.
I was looking. I was just like, I thought it was Eva.
She looked like Gina Torres. I said,
I was in my phone and Steven said, "Who the hell is that?" I looked up and said, "Dolores got a whole new look." He was serious. Like that was a new girl.
That was Black Dolores. Okay,
that dark black hair looked really good on her though.
It looked good. That blowout. Oh, I loved it. It looked good.
All right, we got a call in the queue. Let's go ahead and get them on, so we can get out of here for tonight. MJ said she liked the dark hair. It was cute. It did look nice. All right, I'll call. Before I get this call on, make sure y'all like this video and subscribe to the channel, as I always say, and make sure y'all checking out our other shows. Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip episodes 1 through 3 are already up, but we'll be live on Thursdays tomorrow and for the rest of the season for that. So check us out tomorrow at 30 Eastern. Also that show, the SWV Escape show. I ain't gonna lie, draining, but our panelists do really good jobs. Always a great show over here. So come watch us on Monday as well at 8:30. So
I'm actually about to send an email about that one.
Oh, they trying to drop the panel. The panel is tired of the show. Do a petition to keep, because Chase trying to leave. Chase ain't go nowhere. Okay, he on the contract.
Where he going?
He on contract. He ain't going nowhere. Okay,
he ain't going nowhere.
Right. All right. What's going on, Demisio?
Hey guys.
How you
guys' assessment tonight on the episode was so spot on. Like, good job, you guys. Like, that was amazing.
Thank you, Demisio.
Yes. I honestly feel like Danielle would beat the shit out of Jackie. I feel like that's why she keeps walking away. Like, she gives that old Teresa vibe. Like, I feel like if she engages in this, she might whoop Jackie ass. And I think that's why she be walking away. Like, I really do.
I don't know. Got a little weight on her, that child. She may got a little confidence in jail too. I don't know.
If I had to put my money on it, I would put it on Danielle.
I'm just talking.
But Joe and Teresa and Louie and Melissa, I'm just so tired of them. Like, it's just so draining. I don't even know what the fuck is going on anymore. I'm just like, so what's the real reason why y'all are fucking mad at each other? Is it Pizzagate? Is it because she didn't invite the parents? Is it because Melissa's not a bridesmaid? Like, is it because Teresa is still mad at him because they didn't have her back with the whole Margaret shit last year? Like, what is the issue? I don't know. Like, I just really don't with them. I'm tired of them. They do need to get rid of Melissa and Joe. The show can go on without them. Trust. It could have went on a long time ago without them. And Danny, I was so glad that you brought that up about Margaret at the end. I literally was going to ask y'all that today. Like, how she is escaping being took down when the common denominator in any big scandal, any big storyline on the show, Margaret is spearheading it. She is the one behind the Evan rumor. She's been secretly trying to take Melissa down. Like, how is she escaping them getting into her ass? Why do you guys think that Jackie won't like go against her? I guess the question.
Go against who?
Margaret, because she's the common denominator behind all of this shit. The rumors, all of the scandals.
Margaret too smart for Jackie. Teresa's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the way they operate on that side of the room, it's a lot of them over there. You got a whole little gang, right? So it makes and Jen and Teresa and now Danielle are like over here. That's the smaller group, so it will benefit Jackie more to stay over there because these girls are easier targets, or at least it seems. But I think these girls are the ones that actually will get it popping. You know what I'm saying? Which we know.
I agree. And what y'all was saying about Louie was like 100% correct too. Like I think he has watched the show like y'all said, and I feel like he's like, baby, they done made you look like an ass all these fucking years. It's time you let them make an ass of themselves and show their true colors, because we all know that Melissa and Joey just want to be on the show. They don't give a damn about Teresa for real. It was clear when they came on the show to purposely come after her to create a storyline. So it's just like at this point, I see what he's doing too. Like, let them look fucking crazy for once and show everybody that it's not just you, because that's how they try to make it seem like it's not just Teresa, it's them too. They both are wrong, and I'm glad that he brought that up as well. Like, it's like they're both saying, well, you did this and you did this, and it's just like it's no resolution to say, okay, we sorry, we just gonna start here and move on. It's always this fucking blame game, and that's why I feel they can never get anywhere, because it's the same thing. It's no resolution, and Melissa makes it no better, and neither does Margaret and them being fucking messy.
If this was just a one-on-one thing between them two, I think it will be resolved. But the fact that you have external, factors, but specifically Louie and Melissa, they're like not helping at all. To be honest, there's a lot of now, Joe and Louie like this, and Melissa and Teresa been like this. So it's just like that's why it'll never be resolved until both of them get divorced. Then they'll come back and be like, "Why was we tripping like that?"
Right.
Because we understand. That's what I ain't gonna say I want them to get divorced. I think somebody in the comments said that he was giving Teresa and Louie 5 years tops. I don't know. I don't want to wish death upon Ray, but I don't know how they're gonna make it.
I feel like if Melissa go, things will be okay. Like Louie could stay, and I feel like if Melissa left, like things would be probably better. I feel for real. And Rachel is just fake, period. End of discussion. It really ain't even nothing to discuss about that. Like, girl, you did do that. Like, you never go back and tell what Marge and them say. You always come back and tell what Teresa and them say. So it's just like, it's clear, girl, what the fuck is going on? Like, why is you playing in Danielle face, and why are you playing in our face like that? It's clear. Like, she just fake and just need to own it. Like, girl, your team Marge, just do that. If that's what you're going to do, instead of trying to teeter between the lines, like, you cool with both sides, like, no.
Pick a
that's
side.
it.
Okay, Demetrio. Well, thank you for calling in, okay, and giving us your opinion, your thoughts tonight.
All right, good night, you guys.
Bye.
Have a good night. Somebody was coming in my apartment. I was like, oh my God. At least, listen, y'all know where I live, right? In case somebody come and get me. On that note, that is the end of our recap and review. Did y'all have any final thoughts on this episode before we lean out?
Yes.
You do?
Not even just this episode, just Jersey alone. I want them to stop calling each other by their full names. I'm sick of hearing it. Rachel Fuda. That got on my damn nerves.
Yes, Sammy, because it's not like it's more than one. I understand it for the men, because it's 18 Johns, it's 18 Joes. But it ain't but one Rachel there.
And it's always Dolores. It's always she did when they was fussing with Danielle. Well, Danielle could pretty nobody. Yeah, like just stop. We know the girl.
I love it.
I understand calling. I'd rather call Jen Fessler too.
Fessler.
I'd rather, because there's two Jens too, so you gotta find a way to separate. So I get it. When there's more than one name, I get it.
I'd be like G and A, G and F. It'd just be too much, child.
I'm gonna say you Jenny and you Jen.
Stop casting these same damn names. Give them another name.
I just ain't gonna talk to either one of them.
It's gonna be hey.
All right, y'all. Well, listen, thank y'all for watching tonight. Thank you, Demetrio, for calling in. Shout out to Artworld, Samira, Sierra Content, Kevin was in here, MJ,
Carrie was in there.
Chase. Yeah, Chase. You said who?
Carrie.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I think I'm like, Carrie Underwood was in here. Carrie was in
Get away from me.
Jasmine, Chase, and make sure y'all check us out tomorrow for Girls Trip. It's gonna be good. I will say that show is really good, and I love the panel. I love the show. So like this video, subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. Thank you, Jamie, Danny, and Sammy, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Okay? Yeah, have a good night.
Do you really know?
See you.